Today we're going to talk about Nymphanil, one of the 2 new Animus in the game. Free to play wise, she's pretty free to play friendly. I would highly recommend at least 2 perfect lattice in her 3rd skill. Now she can be used in PvP and I will showcase that a little bit, but getting 2 perfect lattice into her 3rd skill really optimizes what she can bring to the table. She's got attack buff, she's got immunity, and she's got a somewhat good shield. The thing with the shield is if it gets knocked down, then you don't get the Rhine Bloom attack buff of an extra 40%. But if this shield is up, you get a total of 80% attack. That's huge. So in order to use her properly, you need to speed tune your team properly. And what I prefer is putting her on Codex of Magic. I have Surge for that HP increase in the first passive, Shadow Dash for that speed in the 2nd, and 3rd, I have defensive stance right now, but really what you really want is actually synergy, which is increasing the target's final damage. But I'm out of reconfig chip, so this is what I'm gonna do. I am putting her on a bunch of broken sets except for Swift Rush. I'm trying to mimic anyone that does not have the ability to farm Inferno thresholds. Because if you can't farm Inferno thresholds, then you can't get these kind of modules. You can say whatever this is. You can say this is Fury, okay? I'm using it for the main stat and the substat of speed. She pretty much supports any type of damage dealer, whether that's in Grim Pursuit, Threshold, or even PvP, because I'm going to showcase her with Born later. 80% attack boost to Born makes his 3rd skill go kaboom. Just a side note for Jason Bourne fans, his passive, the HP increase according to his attack is only at the start of the battle. You can't give him an attack buff and his HP increases. Eventually I will skill up his 1st skill because his 1st skill, Lifesteal, is pretty huge. XD devs, if you're watching this, I feel like I know how you can fix Born and make him more relevant in PvP and really PvE. 1, I would suggest either A, making his basic attack actually AoE every time. He can't crit, and his AoE only dispels 1 buff from the target. So if you don't change his basic attack to like AoE, kind of like, hey, Sky Arena fans, Lapis, you remember her? If you don't want to do that, then hey, maybe his 3rd skill, his ultimate, his AoE, whatever the main target is, how about we strip all the buffs from that target? Wouldn't that be great? Anyway, let's test Nymphanil out in Arena. First and foremost, I want to showcase what kind of Jason Bourne damage does without Nymphanil. So here we go, 1st turn, right? I got Freya applying Nightmare, which increases damage. Hey, look at that, and all the debuffs and the buffs. They increase my turn meters, right? And then I got Mr. Viper here applying 2 debuffs, knocking them back some more. And then we got more debuffs from Klaus, defense down, which is nice for Born for doing more damage. Born with the count buff, which increases attack by 1200. And we'll do an AoE here, slow this down a little bit so we can see the damage. 34, 26,000. So we got 34, 26,000. Okay, we're good. Now let's apply Nymphanil to this. Do the same thing except taking out Viper, less debuffs, don't need the strip, it doesn't matter at this point. AoE Nightmare from Freya to increase that damage. The debuffs from Klaus, which knocks them back turn meter wise, right? Now we got Nymphanil with the attack buff, which he already has from Freya, but anyway, 40% more attack, right? This is because of Rhine Bloom. Now let's see how much damage that Jason Bourne can do with that. Let's slow this down real quick. 39. The only real reason anybody actually survived there was because of Valerian. So that's just an example of what I've been using Bourne with, trying to just wipe them down, wipe them out with 1 shot. It's been fun. Obviously, there's team comps that doesn't work, like a complete bloodbath. That won't work. However, it's still fun. Let's just try out an easy Inferno Nico Nana team. This is without Nymphanil. All right, let's slow it down. Let's just see what we got with Mr. Ditting, right? Here we go. Big damage, 40,000, 23,000. Without Nymphanil, then we got White Fang, 98, 98. Now let's add in Nymphanil. which a lot of people forget, I think, in my opinion, is that her immunity is actually pretty clutch. Like especially in here in Inferno Nikanana. Hey, look, Ditting doesn't get stunned. Now let's check this single target damage, see how much it goes up. Slow Ditting here. Wow. 64,000, 40,000, and then with the White Fang, 16,000 twice. I would say that is a huge boost. And then you put her on Codex of Magic, so it goes again to make sure that damage stays up and that immunity. And then with Linglow's extending buffs on the second skill, actually it's pretty good. Rengokutsu, these are supposed to be the Animus that are the saviors to this dungeon. Now, that's a debate to me because we only have a 4-man team in Rengokutsu, and I just like the mechanics that you gotta bring to this is kind of ridiculous, but it does work. Even Shadow Flame Hoyan, she's great in a lot of these Grim Pursuits except for Sharon. With her Rhyme Bloom and the attack boost, I mean, you're pretty much going to half health just with one Ditting ultimate. And this is no Lily, mind you. Imagine if I actually like used Lily. Man, it's like I want to do a video on like bringing in Lily and just like dominating every single dungeon soon. Now that I've proven that you can beat everything without Lily, I hope that's like the expectation now that you don't need Lily. I mean, it's been 3 months, guys. Come on. Like, you gotta know by now you don't need Lily. Even Inferno Doki, like, come on. She's just great in almost everything. Not obviously like terrormaton, not Inferno Sharon, but you can use her in every single Grim Pursuit. You can use her in every single threshold, except for those wind green hollow thresholds, right? Even with an SR like Gray. If I used Kaz the Reverie here instead of like Salince, that would have been a one-shot of all the ads. That's who I usually use, is Kaz the Rev for that one shot. Speed up my team. But a lot of people forget about that immunity that she brings to the table, especially when you put her on Codex of Magic. Like, and here, for example, when the ads can stun, like they just stunned her. But I'm just trying to showcase these dungeons because, hey, we got a bonus weekend coming ×4. I'm trying to show you that if you do have Nymphanil, she can definitely speed up your teams or even improve your teams if you're having trouble. I want you guys to benefit from this ×4 weekend as much as possible. She's good in PvE, she's good in PvP. There's not many heroes that have immunity. There's definitely a strong case for her. You can even use her for R units if you're into R units like I am, like Sybil for Aurora. She's actually great for Aurora, in my opinion. With that shield, that defense buff, that immunity, right? The damage increase for Sybil is actually pretty huge, especially when on Revelation. She's not like Ditting damage, obviously, but hey. But that second skill with that extra heal for Curse Shield, when Curse Shield is applied, like the damage, it gets reduced. So like, your damage dealer doesn't do as much damage. So you need some extra heals. These are all super safe teams, all with Nymphanil. And the biggest thing about Nymphanil is that she can actually help you speed up your clears too. So really she's useful early, mid, and late game. And all she needs is minimum investment, 2 perfect lattice, that's it. So hopefully you have the opportunity to use Nymphanil to speed up your teams or just even improve your teams, because she can do both for PvE. I just want to help you prepare for this ×4 weekend so you can farm Doki or Aurora, or whatever the case may be, because that's where I'll be this weekend, is Doki and Aurora. I'm in dire need of Swift Smite because I literally have like all of my shells that are decent have Swift Smite on it, and that's where I need to improve. Always know where your goal is. So here's the stats on what she is right now. Currently, I made her literally just have Swift Rush because that's how everyone in general can relate. You can only get better from here. Speed and HP and defense really is all you need. That's it for today's video. If you got an Nymphanil user, if you don't, I suggest not telling you. I'm just suggesting it's not a bad idea. She's a low investment SSR. XD devs, what are you doing, man? what is this Neon Mirage for $50? That's like literally a brand new game that you can buy, and it's just cosmetic. It doesn't do anything for you. 50 bucks for just an arena skin, you're out your damn mind. If you end up liking this video, make sure to hit that sub button, hit the like button, hit the bell dingy dingy thing so you know when I post a video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.